I am priceless.
I was not born to fit in, I was born to stand out.
I am a leader right where I'm at.
I am not a camper, I am not a quitter, I am a climber.
If I don't stand for something, I will fall for anything.
Self-esteem is mandatory.
I will respect myself and those around me.
I will choose joy.
There is never an excuse for abuse.
If I always do what I've always done, I'll always get what I've always got.
I am a gift.
A relationship full of control is a relationship out of control.
I will be respected.
I will be respectful.
I will stand up and speak up.
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 I will make a statement.
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 Who was that you were talking to?
He sits next to me in class. He was just asking me a question.
So what? I don't want you talking to anybody.
Can you buy me some snacks?
What the hell did I tell you about that? I don't want you gaining any weight.
I'm gonna hang out with some of my friends.
No, stay here with me.
But I want to have some fun.
I don't care. Please forgive me. You know I love you. It'll never happen again.
Let go of my arm.
You go where I tell you to go.
But you're hurting me. Let go.
Fine, go. You don't mean anything to me anyway. You could be replaced.
I told my brother I was going to his ball game today. It's the championships.
Well, I don't want you going anywhere, and that's final. Happy Valentine's Day, baby. I'm so sorry. Come on, you know I love you. Please forgive me.
As for my experience with sexual abuse, it can turn into an endless cycle of depression. Your life goes on a downward spiral. There was a boy that I had met, and it was the first night I ever met him. He talked me into drinking, and it ended up being the worst experience that I ever had. He took my virginity without even knowing my name. Well, he took that from me, and for me that was something that I wasn't supposed to give up until marriage. And for some reason, there was this attachment emotionally with him that even though he did something so horrible to me, that I didn't want to leave him. And so there was the first weekend, and I would see him in the hallway, and it was scary, but it was also that word had got around right away, and I was getting more attention from people. And I was like, hey, maybe it's not the worst thing that could have happened. And then it was the next weekend, and he had called me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like he knows my name now. And we decided to hang out again, and it was that thing, I lost my identity when I was with him. I didn't know who I was, and I was just his thing to be around when he didn't have another girl. And it turned into a point where he would always call me, you're a slut. I don't even remember I don't believe if I took your virginity. You're with so many guys and all this stuff. And just the names he would call me, I mean, it hurt so bad, and the way he would treat me, it got to the point where I'd see him in public and he would just look at me like I was this filthy person and he had no idea who I was. But then later that night I'd get a call from him asking to hang out. And the more it kept going on, it was an uncontrollable feeling that I had to start cutting myself again. And it would happen every time I thought of him. Every time he would text me, his name came up, somebody would ask me about him. And I felt better. And it got to the point where one night he just laid it out on me in a 7-page text, and he was like, you're disgusting. I can't believe I was ever with you. You have probably been with every guy in the school, going on. And he's like, I can't believe anyone wants you. You're going nowhere with your life. You're gonna be stuck here in Spokane forever. And I was like, he's right. He's like, look what I've become. And I decided that it wasn't worth taking all of that from him. I put my phone down, grabbed the bottle of pills, and I just started going. In between handfuls of pills, I would cut myself. And then I'd take another handful up until the point where I couldn't even hold my phone straight. and I'd just sit there, and it was like this shaking that I couldn't feel, and it was like the room was caving in. One of those feelings you never want to feel. And then my mom came down, she looked at me and she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And she called my sister downstairs, kept it from my other two, raced me to the hospital. I was 2 pills away. I was way over the toxic limit, and they said if I had taken those last 2 pills, that handful that was in my hand when my mom came in, they said that I would have had the slightest chance of living. And I was like, "You're such a horrible person, you can't even kill yourself." For me, it wasn't until I went into Statement and learned about the Red Flag program that I even knew that it was anything wrong with him. I constantly was thinking it was me. And once I heard, this is something that happens with people, guys do this a lot, I found out it's not my fault. And then I started realizing with all my other friends, like, they're going through something and they think it's their fault also. And without the Red Flag program, I wouldn't have known how to prevent it or have even to like myself again. Because of the Red Flag program, I have learned that I am a leader right where I'm at, and I am priceless.
He was demanding that she would send him sexual pictures through texting, or else he would hurt her.
I actually feel like dating abuse is a little more common than people think. You kind of see it all over in high school. Just a lot of people with their first relationships and just growing up. People make stupid decisions. Particularly, I had 2 of my best friends where, they dated for 3 years, but most of the time they just hated each other's guts. They'd constantly be coming to me, telling me they hate each other, spreading rumors, talking down on each other. Through the control program, guys are going to learn kind of what healthy behavior is and how to react and how to treat a woman. So,
As a teacher of the Red Flag program, I've had the opportunity to see young girls come into the class broken and confused and unsure of themselves, and I've been able to see them leave with confidence and power and see them lead in their circumstances and take life on with a new passion and excitement. Red Flag is a wonderful program that teaches girls from junior high to high school age about abuse and the different kinds of abuse and what it all means, and it teaches them about their identity and the importance of self-esteem, and it teaches them about what to do in situations that are harmful for them or their friends, and it gives them the confidence and the ability to take a stand for what's right. I love this program because it allows people like me who have a first-hand experience with dating abuse to turn around and to educate these girls so that they in turn can use what they've learned and not end up in similar situations of dating abuse.
I think it's sad that most people perceive physical or dating abuse as guys who are abusive to girls, when that's not always the case. There are a lot of girls out there who are very controlling, and that's abuse in a different way. I think a program like the control program would be really helpful for guys like me who see guys who are my friends objectify women, and it's not fair, and I don't really know how to deal with it, and so I think that'd be really helpful. So when there's a relationship that's abusive, most of the time when you cut it off, you would think that, oh, it'd just be over and there's no more to deal with. But with social media now, you can go on Facebook and you see all these harsh and mean comments that are just terrible to people, and that still can be seen in old text messages, and you can't get away from it even after it's over.
I've been through the Red Flag program, and it really opened my eyes to how much I really was emotionally abused in a lot of different ways. I thought emotional abuse was just being talked down on, but there's way more than that. It's way more than just the physical abuse and the social media. There's just so much more that Red Flag can show you.
Yeah, my name is Ralph Thayer, the Assistant Superintendent of the Meade School District, and I think dating abuse is prevalent in today's society. The great thing about the Statement program is that even though a student may not have or be in an abusive relationship, there's tools that can be taught in the program that would allow that student to go to a trusted adult to seek help, or even stand up to maybe the friend to redirect that friend if that friend is in an abusive relationship. Statement is the only viable program that's available in the greater Spokane area. I would encourage everyone to support this program, and I highly endorse it to be used to not only be a prevention program, but to be there to help our leaders tomorrow.
Sadly, the youth of today, I think, is desensitized to some of the violence that can happen between relationships, the unhealthy behavior. I think this is one of the first steps that the youth today can take to be more familiar with some of the signs and symptoms and prevention steps that are available to help with domestic violence. And bottom line is the person needs to respect themselves and be able to stand up for themselves, stand up for what's right, and share the information if they're being mistreated with somebody, a friend, a family member, something, so that they can get the help that they need so that they don't become another victim.
Hi, I'm Colleen Thornton. I'm a high school guidance counselor, and I would be thrilled to see a program like Statement in our school system. As a counselor, I see many students who are just struggling with unhealthy relationships or in abusive relationships. Many of these students have a hard time often even recognizing what constitutes a healthy relationship from an unhealthy relationship. I see students who are scared and who are frightened and afraid for their friends who are experiencing a relationship that is abusive and not knowing what to do. I think a program like Statement would be huge to bring awareness to these issues. And not only that, teach students some important skills and strategies to identify the red flags of an unhealthy relationship. I think these years are so important. They're such an impressionable time period in an adolescent's life where often students are in a relationship for the first time and developing important lifelong dating habits. And so to see a young girl or a young woman in an unhealthy relationship, to see a student in my office who is showing me text messages that have been sent from a boyfriend is heartbreaking. Trying to help that student recognize maybe what those red flags are and provide them with resources, I think is really vital. I think Statement will provide that to all students, not necessarily just students who find themselves in an abusive relationships, but to all students from lots of different cliques and groups who could benefit from having an awareness about this issue and also have lots of different resources in their back pocket to turn to when they see a friend who is struggling in an abusive relationship. As we all know, and as statistics do show, it is our young women who are often on the end of an abusive relationship. But as I have seen, and we also know that young men also do experience abuse. The thing that I am really excited about the Statement program is they also have a control program that is for young men that will not only give the young men a voice, but also empower them with the resources and the skills to learn also how to cultivate healthy relationships. We often think of dating abuse as something that's physical, but the reality of that is it's so much more than that. As a school counselor, I've seen it come across in lots of different forms, from physical abuse to emotional abuse, psychological, and social. Now with how social media has taken off with Facebook, texting, it just takes one click of a button for someone to completely sabotage someone else's character. Not only would Statement bring a great deal of awareness in regards to dating violence and how to develop healthy relationships, but this program will truly build leaders in our community. It will teach kids how to give back to their community, and those traits and those skills are just extremely valuable. I couldn't support this program anymore. I think that a program like this really needs to be built into our school system and be a part of our program and our curriculum so that every student has an opportunity to learn these skills.
We are excited to stand behind Statement. Law enforcement deals with a lot of domestic violence in our community. In Spokane County, 73% of the homicides are related to domestic violence. Statement develops a prevention aspect to domestic violence in that it gives young teens the skills to overcome domestic violence, to report domestic violence, and more importantly, it develops leadership, and that leadership will help other young teens overcome the aspects of domestic violence in our community. Together, we can make a stand. Victims are what it's all about. Teaching people not to become victims is very important to us. We hope that you will make a stand with us and make a statement to stop domestic violence. We will make a statement.
All I want is to be with you.
I want to be your only, ever.
Hey, you're not gonna wear that shirt to Amy's house tonight, are you?
Why not?
Because that's way too tight.
You've been going out with him for what, 6 weeks now, and you're letting him tell you what to wear?
No. Come on. Not at the table. Give me the phone.
I'm just letting Mark know what time he can pick me up.
Hand it over.
You know what? I'm so tired of you ragging on Mark.
I'm trying to help you.
No, you're not. You're just jealous that I have somebody who loves me and you don't.
I don't want the two of you to see each other for 2 weeks. That includes phone calls. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Why are you suddenly acting all weird?
I'm just being a guy.
Next time, I'll cause a distraction. You just make a run for it.
Mark!
I saw you! I know you're into him. I know that smile that you get.
Just listen to me, please. Please.
I'd like to call the police, but Elizabeth is denying she was hit. She's insisting she tripped.
I fell.
He hit you!
You don't understand, okay? It was my fault.
You get that thought out of your head. Do you hear me?
Why do you have a gun?
Because I'm gonna kill you. And then I'm gonna kill myself.